Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another experiment. Now tonight's dinner we wanted to have some asparagus, and I don't know about you guys, but I kind of think of asparagus like I do avocado. It's kind of a hit or miss thing. It's really hard to get it just right. Sometimes it ends up being a little too hard, a little too fibery and streaky, and sometimes it's completely soggy. So I'm going to kind of experiment and see which cooking method produces the best results. Now I'm going to be doing 4 different methods today. I'm going to be baking it in the oven, so like roasting it. I'm going to be doing it on the stovetop, sauteing it in a pan. We're going to be putting it on the Traeger, and then we're also going to be putting it in the air fryer. So several different methods, and I'm going to see which way produces the best texture and flavor for our asparagus. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, first things first, we gotta get our asparagus prepped. So I have 2 bundles here. I'm gonna show you guys, in my opinion, the easiest way if you want to get rid of these ends. I know I've got a bunch of stuff in my counter here, but these woody ends down here never will give you a good texture. They are dry, they are fibrous. It's just not a good thing. So depending on the size of the asparagus, I'll go up 2 to 2.5 inches from the bottom of the stalk and just slice those right off and get into the more tender part of the asparagus stalk. And isn't that handy? Just toss that right away. And then we're going to put these into the colander and rinse them really well. And I have another bundle that I've already cut the bottoms off of. So we're going to rinse these, and I'll be right back. Scoop this to the side. Now I want each of the groups to have a consistent flavor so that that's not really a factor in this. So we're going to season these all together, and then we will split them off into batches. Alright, this is going to be very chaotic, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be speaking while I'm doing each method, because I want to have these all finished as closely in time together as I can so that everything's still hot and fresh whenever I go to do a taste test. So for this next part, I'm going to walk you through my seasoning, and then after that we're just going to pop in some footage where I can of each method. And then I will be back for the final results. So let's go ahead with our seasoning. I'm going to do a little bit of olive oil. Just kind of drizzle some right over the top. Some lemon juice. If you don't do lemon with your asparagus, you're missing out. I normally do fresh lemon. Forgot to pick some up, but that's okay. The lemon juice does just fine. Going with some onion powder, salt and pepper, and just a little bit of garlic powder. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of roll these around and all that seasoning and olive oil. Make sure that each piece has got some flavor on it. Alright, now I'm going to split these off into 4 groups. Alright, so we got our 4 groups. Group A is going out to the Traeger, so I'm going to set it on some foil, and we're going to take it out there. Group B is going to go into the air fryer. So I'm going to go ahead and take that to the basket, but I'm not going to start it yet. Group C is going to be sauteed on the stovetop. So I'm going to take that over there and set it to the side of the skillet, not going in quite yet. I want to try to pull the trigger on all this at the same time. And then finally, Group D is going to stay right here on this pan. I'm going to kind of spread those out. Alright, so I've got the oven set to 450 degrees. We're going to want to cook this on a high temperature and pretty quickly. So I'm going to let this roast for about 10 to 15 minutes max. So I'm going to just keep a close watch on it, but this is going to be one of the longer cooks along with smoker. I've got the smoker set, or the Traeger set, as high as it'll go. So I think it's like 400 degrees. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to let it go for 10 to 15 minutes as well. And then we're going to be, about the time that these are getting halfway through, I'm going to start up the air fryer. The air fryer is going to run at 425 to 450 degrees, depending on your air fryer, for about 8 to 9 minutes. And then finally, I'm going to start the saute process just about as soon as I start the air fryer up, because it's going to go for about 5 minutes on medium-high heat. So I'm going to just kind of take off from here. I'm more concerned about the final product being as fresh and as warm and close to finishing at the same time, more than I am getting a whole lot of like really good B-roll footage. But anyway, I will see you guys back in just a minute. This is going to be a little bit of a mad dash. Oh boy, and just like that, we have got them all off at the same time. Now, I did a really good job. I think I had them all off within 2 minutes of each other, but these are far too hot to try. So I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes, and then I'll be back to actually give these a taste test. I can tell you just right off, I can tell that certain methods cooked it a lot faster than others. So we're gonna have different results here for sure. But I will be back in about 5 minutes and we will get into this. All right, so this is an absolutely terrible angle, but I wanted you to be able to clearly see each marker. So I've given this about 5 minutes. They are still steaming, so they are still very hot. We're gonna go ahead and start looking at the comparison. Now, first thing I noticed was that the roasted one in the oven cooked much quicker than the rest of them. But now looking at them side by side, I think that the Traeger also cooked them more than the air fryer or sauteing them did. Sauteing looks like they are the least shriveled. So these may be tougher, I don't know. But they all smell really good, so that's a plus. So let's go ahead and let's start with the ones that were roasted in the oven. I'm gonna grab one and I'm gonna slice it in half. Okay, it's sliced really, really easy. I'm sorry if I keep going out of frame. It's sliced really easy, so it's definitely tender. I just hope it isn't too tender. This again was roasted in the oven. It went for about 13 minutes. And it was on 450 degrees. So okay. Wonderful flavor. That's a little too done for me. It's a little too soft. So maybe if I were to cut that down to closer to that 10-minute mark, that might be a little more in the ballpark of what I'm looking for. But if you do like your asparagus, it's not soggy by any means. I mean, it still holds its shape. It's not as firm as I prefer it to be. All right, so let's go on with the air fryer. I'm gonna do the same thing. I don't want to talk too much and let them get cold on me. All right, so that one definitely has a little more snap to it, and I'm trying to find ones that are similar size. All right. Okay. That still got the firmness that I was looking for. It's not soggy, but it's also not unpleasantly crunchy. That is like the perfect like texture in my opinion. Lots of flavor. Nothing got overdone. There's no like charred pieces on it or anything. So it's pretty uniform, and that's in the air fryer. All right, so now let's go in for a piece that was on the Traeger. Now the smoker will add that extra flavor, which is why we love our Traeger. All right, already I can tell that that cut easier than the one from the air fryer. Okay. That one's got a whole different flavor profile. That one, you definitely get the smoke on. It's kind of in between these with texture. It's more firm than the roasted ones, less firm than the air fryer. Still not like anything soggy like the limp noodle ones. It still kind of has a little bit of integrity to it there. Definitely some charring on the ends. Alright, so let's go in with these sauteed ones. Now these are the ones that look just to the eye to be the least like cooked. So let's get in here. Right, cut pretty easy. Cuts pretty easy. This looks to be like the least shriveled, should I say. So it looks like it lost the least moisture. Okay. Okay. Those are too crunchy. But I feel like if I'd went any longer, they would have started burning. There's a little bit of char happening on the outside. That if I'd let it go too much longer than that, it would have been too much. So I guess it just kind of depends on what you prefer. If you want softer, then you're going to want to go the smoked route or the roasted route. If you want them a little more firm, I think the air fryer is the winner in this case, although sauteing them in the pan was quick and easy. It was the quickest method there was. It's all up to you. I think all the way across the board, they're all delicious. I would be happy to have any of them with my entree. But if I had to choose a winner on flavor, I would go Traeger. If I had to choose a winner on texture, I would go air fryer. So if we could figure out how to get that texture with the smoked flavor, we would be golden. But this was a very interesting experiment. Now I know my preferred methods of cooking asparagus, and I don't have to guess whenever it comes time to include that in our menu. So, all right, guys, this has been fun. I am definitely about to, I have to go get dinner done. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out our website. Get you a bottle of sauce. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.